Hi everybody, welcome back. It's still Wednesday, August 5th, and today I'm going to dive into section 1. You know you have a problem when it's a beautiful summer day and you're happy to be inside quilting. Oh yeah, it's just so much fun. Okay, so here's our directions. We've already done the bags. We've already done the cutting list. Okay. I went ahead and put these aside. The last bits of fabric I didn't cut. These 3 things, and I also actually got the background fabric, so I put those aside. I'm not going to be using those for now. Pattern notes and helpful tips. Important thing here, although not required, we recommend ironing fusible woven interfacing to the back of your blocks before you embroider. So I'm going to come back to that later. I just wanted to point it out. And here's some tips on appliquing with the glitter sheets, which we're not doing just yet, and we are going to be using the leather, and it says the method for the leather is exactly the same as fabric. Okay, and when pressing embroidery leather or the colored vinyl, always use a pressing cloth to protect the vinyl and leather. What is a pressing cloth? Okay, it's just a piece of fabric. Okay, this is a scrap of muslin. Muslin is a plain, natural, off-white sort of fabric. I use it to line curtains or line skirts or whatever. So it protects it, so you can iron right on top of it. Okay, so let's turn the page. We already did the embellishments. I talked a little bit about the floss. I put those aside. I'll come back to that when we do embroidering. We already did the cutting diagram. Okay, moving right along. Okay. Applique instructions. We love the simplicity of using lightweight fusible web. All the images are printed in reverse, ready for tracing. Okay, so you'll need the image, lightweight fusible web, pencil, scissors, and an iron. Oh, so, okay, hold on. When I started reading this, I was like, wait a second, I got confused. These are general directions for applique, trimming, applique glitter, hand embroidery. So this will come back to. I didn't realize this was just now. I started to do it again. Okay. Now, here we go. Section 1, page 10. Okay, I'm going to be doing these 3 blocks. Say cheese, strike a pose, oh snap. Part 2 of my section 1 will be the click and the smile. That's going to be a separate video because that's embroidery. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is get all of our parts ready. Okay, and before we do our parts, some of them we have to trace and cut out. Okay, so I got the kit that had most of my shapes already cut out, but I do have to cut out some, which I'm going to demonstrate. So trace the camera designs on fusible web, adhere to the wrong side of fabric, cut out the shapes, peel the web, fuse them on the background, stitch around shapes. That last one, stitch around shapes, I'm not going to do today. That's a different thing. I'm just going to do 1 through 5. So I'll show you what I needed to do. Okay, let's talk about tracing the designs and making your parts. Okay. For this, I know that from the vinyl, well, you might say, how do I know? From my cutting list, I know that from the pink vinyl, I will be needing 3 hearts. Now, you could have their directions say, wherever the heart was, I already cut it out, that you would put this on top of your shape and trace the heart, iron it on, cut it out. Okay, I already had traced it on there. Oops. So, but the good thing is, when I attach my fusible web, I'll still be able to see through to cut them out. I forgot to talk about what fusible web is. Heat bond light. This I had left over from another project. You know, I save all my scraps. And I looked, sure enough, it says heat bond light. And I saved this as another brand that kind of fell apart, but it's a good demonstration of what it is. So basically on one side is paper, and then on the other side, see, it's shiny. That's actually glue. Okay, Okay, hope you can see it peeling off a little bit there, which will be activated by the iron. See how the glue comes off? You don't want it to come off yet. Okay, so the idea is that this is going to be between your 2 layers of fabric and glue them together and hold it together until you stitch around it. Okay, but you can't have the glue exposed to your iron because it'll get stuck to your iron. So you do one side at a time. So this just shows you what the web looks, this is just the plain glue. It shouldn't have come off the paper. It's not, I could reattach it. I just wanted to show you that it's actually a paper plus some glue. I'm gonna put that one aside because I want to use one where it's still attached. Okay, so glue side down so the paper is up, because I do not want this glue to get on my iron. Okay, so my iron is warming up. I only have it on warm. Okay, I'm gonna go over to my iron. Excuse me. And now this is where you're going to use your sheet. I do not want to put my iron directly on here. I want to make sure. Okay, I also wanted to point out, do you remember on the cutting guide it said to make 3 2x2 squares? Look how much space my hearts took up. About 1 inch by 3 inches. There's only 3 square inches. Whereas the other way, 2x2 squares, would have been a lot more. You would have wasted a lot more. So, I'm going to place my fusible web over it. Oh, hold on. You do not want any of this gluey stuff getting on your ironing board. So, this is the poor man's applique pressing sheet. Okay, parchment paper. So let me move this stuff out of the way. Okay. A trick I learned, it says it on the box, but I never read it in all my years. If you tuck the flap back in before you tear it, it helps you make a better tear. Okay. So now, nothing will stick to this. Okay, and if it rolls up and it's annoying, you could always take a couple pins and pin it down if it's gonna roll up and make you crazy, which if it was rolling up, I would get annoyed. So I just take a couple pins and pin it down. Now it can't go anywhere. Okay. So now I have my non-stick surface, so that way any of this glue that's overhanging won't get on my ironing board. And I have the paper side up, because I certainly wouldn't want to glue iron on top of the glue. So and I'm going to be using my cloth, because I don't want to put the iron directly on this because it's plastic. Okay, so I've got my parchment paper. I have I'm on the back of the leather, people, the back of it. Okay, and I have my fusible web, shiny side, glue side down with the paper up, and then I'm going to gently lay this over it so I don't move anything. Okay, now when you do this, you press it. You don't go like this with your iron and shimmy it everywhere. Okay, you just put it down and stay. Okay, so I don't know, how long does it say to stay? I don't know, stay for a few seconds. Okay, don't move it around because you don't want anything to. Okay, let's see. Let's see if it's stuck. Nope. You know what? Do I need a little steam? I don't know if I need. Oh, I forgot to fill up my iron with steam. Okay. So it didn't stick yet, so it wasn't hot enough. Maybe I don't need this yet. It's not even coming on. All right. Since I'm not ironing directly on the stupid pin is getting in the way. It's sticking yet? Nope. Doesn't want to stick. I don't really want to turn the iron up. Okay, looks like it's starting to stick now. Okay. So if you're watching this and it's going too slow for you. One thing that I do is you can turn the speed up, the playback speed on YouTube. Go to 1.25 or 1.5 and it'll whip you right through this. And then it's still not sticking. Okay, that side is. Good. Okay. I just have to be patient. I'm not very patient, so I'm just going to stay here. Probably should count to 30, but I've been talking. Okay. Oh, also, I want to get my... I know that I need a little tiny piece of the white to do those... Hold on, I get distracted. Did it stick yet? Yes, I'm going to let it cool. Because if I rip it off, I just let it cool. Okay, now, from the white felt, I know I just need those 3. This is too big. Okay. Notice I have two pair of scissors. You do not want to use your fabric scissors on paper. It will dull them. I'm going to trim, as I don't really need... All I'm doing is the 3, it's the flashes. Is that all I need? Okay. So I'm going to put it right in the corner. Put it here. Okay, I have glue side down. I'm going to count. Didn't get it right in the... Straight down, don't push. Okay. Now, meantime, this should be cooling, and then I can peel the paper off gently, making sure that the glue stays behind. If the glue is still stuck to the paper, you might have to iron it some more. Okay, let's see if I can get it off. I saw it was starting to stick. Okay. Oh, definitely stuck there. Okay. I don't know if you can see, but the glue is being left behind. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have peeled it off yet, but I wanted you to see how the glue is being stuck, and then you can take the paper off, and then there's the glue. Then I'm going to cut it out and glue it on. Okay, now, so that worked. Did this attach yet? Yes, that was quicker. Okay, so for the sake of the video, I'm just going to cut out one of each. Okay, now this one, I have to do it's fabric and paper, so I'm going to it's just a little tiny thing. I don't know how you avoid that. So, and in this video, I'm only going to put together one camera because they're all the same. Okay. Okay, there's my little tiny flash. So let's put that somewhere where I won't lose it. Line up my parts. Okay, and I need one heart. Actually, I'm going to leave the paper. Do one heart. Well, I guess it's too late because it already came off. I'm going to separate it from the others. Side for now, done with that. Done with that. And now I'm going to go ahead and trim it. Okay, so I've never worked with this leathery stuff, and I don't know what it's going to be like to sew with. Part of me thought about replacing it with a pink fabric because I knew that that would be easier to, but I thought to sew through, but I thought, okay, don't start changing things yet. Okay, speaking of changing things, for the second section with the embroidery, I'm not sure I want to embroider those particular phrases that they have that are, I don't know, we click and oh snap. Okay, how does my heart look? Pretty good. It's a little rough in some spots. Okay, so take your time and make it nice, because unlike fabric, this plastic isn't going to give, and it's not going to fray a tiny bit and soften. So if any edge looks a little too hard, like the inside of that heart there, I want to fix that. Do it now. Okay? Okay. This is why I'm only going to do one, because I don't want to sit here all day and cut stuff. Okay. So I've got those are my two things, and now it already has my fusible web on the back. Oops, sorry. on the back, and so does this. Okay, so I'm going to put all of this aside and move on. So what I just did there, if you go back to those general directions on page 8, okay, this is what I just demonstrated. Place fusible web paper side up over the applique. Trace it. Okay, with a warm iron, adhere the web to the wrong side of the fabric. Okay, the felt, both sides are the same. Okay, the leather. The method is exactly the same as fabric. Use a pressing cloth. I didn't do it because I was on the back. I guess I should have, but it wasn't getting hot enough. Glitter, we'll worry about another time. Okay, so, and here it says cut out the fabric shape directly on the traced pencil outline, which I just did with my heart. Peel the paper back. Okay, and then we're going to put it on and iron it. Layer them so they overlap is about 1/8 of an inch. With a warm iron, fuse them right side up. Always use pressing cloth with glitter. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and get our parts out. Okay, so now put this aside. I shouldn't need to cut anything, so get rid of all of this for now. And okay, done with that. Okay, now the reason I had this out is sometimes I use this to glue parts. I'm not using it right now because I wanted to demonstrate the fusible web for you, but I might bring this back another time and show you. This is another way you could just glue, you just spray it on the back of your fabric and glue it on. So I'll save that for another time. Okay, so let's get this out of the way. This is the fusible interfacing, which is like a fabric with the glue on it. Okay, and this is when your block is all done and you're about to embroider it, you put this behind your fabric and it gives it more body and it just makes it more stable. So I'm going to come back to that. Okay, so also I wanted you to note that I made copies of these so I could cut it out. I'm going to leave this out for a layout, okay? So get rid of that stuff. Okay, so leave out our diagram. Now, everything should be pretty organized. Let's see what we've got in row 1. I don't think I need the red felt. Okay, say cheese. There it is. Strike a pose. There it is. Oh snap. There it is. Okay, so I'll leave those out. And these other ones, which are the embroidery ones, click and smile and ooh, love your selfie. Those must be coming up later. And something to do with the red felt. So I'm going to put all of those back. Okay, now I think the only thing in here is the background. Yep. Okay, there's one. Strike a pose. Okay, now you'll notice on your directions that for all of the camera bodies are gray and white dots. Oh, this is where I'm going to be using starch. Okay. It's already in my spray bottle. Now, ooh, let's get out all the parts. Here comes the fun part. I'm just going to dump them all out. Why not? Okay, there's my week 1 bag of the laser cut parts, if you have the laser cut things. Okay, now we have 3 camera bodies. There's one. Now, on another tutorial, they pointed out that 2 of the corners are rounded and 2 are sharp. The rounded corners are the ones that are going on the bottom. Okay, so I am gonna go ahead and just separate my other parts. I won't do them on camera, but I'm gonna, oops, don't lose that. Get them ready. So make sure that your 2 rounded corners are on the bottom. Okay. Then the green background and the red background both have the pink striped top. I'm just laying them out now. I'm not really, oops. And the back, yeah, okay. Look how cute. Okay. Next, the camera lens is, wait, this needs the green one. Uh-oh, I just noticed these also have 2 sharp corners and 2 rounded. So the rounded needs to go up. I didn't even notice that on these. Rounded corners up, rounded corners up. Okay, so the camera lens for the green one goes on, wait, why is that so? And that just goes there, okay. And the yellow polka dot goes on the red. And the red goes on the green. There we go. It's like musical colors. Okay. And they all get a black center. They all get the flashed top. Oh wow, these are really cute. I'm getting excited. Okay, and then they all get the button. I feel like I'm missing a button. I feel like I am missing a button, but you know what? That's something you can easily cut, hopefully out of a scrap. Okay. I wonder where it went. Maybe it's in the bag. Oh. Gee whiz. I lost a part already. Okay, well, I'm only doing one on camera anyway, so I already lost a part for that. Okay, and then I'm gonna put that aside for now. There's that one, looks good too. Very nice. I'm gonna put that aside for now, and we're going to concentrate on this one. Okay. That's going to go there. And now is when I can peel off the paper and make sure I leave behind the glue. Make sure I don't peel the glue off too. There it is. You can tell because it's shiny. If you can see, it's shiny. There you go. Okay. And it can go right in the middle of that. Oops. And I did already. Okay, so now I'm going to get ready to transfer over here to my, okay, this I'm actually going to be using on top now instead of underneath. The background is big enough that none of this glue would ever touch my ironing board over here. Okay, so I'm going to come around. Okay, so our directions say, number 1, trace the camera designs, adhere the web, cut out the shapes, peel fusible web. Okay, now we're on step number 5. Fuse shapes on center of background fabric, tilting the camera as illustrated above. Okay, so as illustrated above. So this one shows it tilting that way a little bit. Okay, now before I do that, I'm actually going to take them all off. Oh, I have to take the paper off of these. Holy cow. Hold on. First I want to do, this still has a little bit of a crease in it and it was folded in my bag. So this is my spray starch. I use Mary Ellen's Best Press, and this is Caribbean Beach Scent. By the way, none of the products I use today sponsor me. I paid for everything with my own money. I'm just showing you, oh dear, this needs to be hotter. I'm gonna crank that up to linen and cotton. Good thing I thought I got, okay, while I'm waiting for the while I'm waiting for the iron to heat up, I'll peel the paper off. Okay, nobody sponsored me. This is just me in my house doing my thing. Okay, now is when you want to take all the papers off, okay, so that they'll be gluable. And my iron is now heating up beyond warm. I had it on warm before. I'm going to need my pressing cloth for this. Now is when I'm going to need my pressing cloth because I'm going to be ironing right on top of the pink, so I'll have that handy. Peel off the paper on this. Wanted to say thank you to Shabby Fabrics for doing all of the laser cutting. Okay, now I want to make sure when I lay this back down, excuse me, that my rounded corners or to the top and bottom. Now I wanted to point out something it said on the directions. Oh darn, I almost lost. Hello, it's stuck to my hand. Hold on, let me just finish peeling off papers because I get distracted. Sorry, it's taking so long. Okay, one more. And then I think I'm done. Okay, so I'm peeled off now. Okay, one of the things it says in the okay, right here, the note on number 6. When completing applique with several pieces, such as this, layer the pieces so they overlap about 1/8 of an inch. Overlap is shown on the camera below. Okay, so for example, if you look at the tiny button, okay, this is bigger than that, and part of it is going to be behind. Okay, so my iron should be a little bit hotter now. There we go. Whoops, watch out. Don't iron those by accident. Okay, get this all nice and pressed and starched. Okay. So starch stiffens your fabric. It also helps it helps it a little bit not to fray quite so much, and it doesn't shimmy everywhere. Okay, I love ironing and I love starch, and it smells really good. Okay, now, okay, it makes it a little stiffer, gave it a little more body. So now I'm ready to line it up. Okay, so I'm going to follow the diagram here. Okay, now some people you can line it up with that if you want. I'm just going to do it visually. I trust myself. But where's the overlap? I'm going to follow this with the overlap. Okay, so it looks like the pink overlaps the button and the flash. So let's get everything in place. That overlaps about 1/8 of an inch, a tiny bit, tiny bit. Tiny bit. How far over is the button? A little bit. Oh, that looks cute. Okay, and then this part goes underneath a little bit. Sorry you can't see it better from over there. I promise I'll show you in just a second. I'm going to tuck it underneath the pink a little bit. Is it centered? I feel like it's too far down. I feel like I need to move it up some more. I feel like I have more on the bottom. I feel like I need to scoot it up a little bit. It says centered. So I'm going to actually scoot it up a little bit. And then I have to move those. Okay, so that you can see. Let's see. I feel a little bit better about that. Let's see. And then over here I have 1, 2.5 blocks. 1, 2.5 blocks. Here I have 2 blocks about and 2 blocks about. Okay, so now I feel better. It's more centered. And I can continue on my quest to fix the overlap. So it looks like this black thing is centered. Okay, and now if you, hold on, let me grab a ruler. Because if you really want to get technical, like I want to make sure I have this centered. So it is 1.25 inches wide, and this is 3.5 inches wide. So if I subtract 1.25 from 3.5, I have 2.25, right? 2.25 divided by 2 is 1 1/8. So I should have 1 1/8 on either side of it. Let's see if that works. Did I do the math right? I did that kind of quickly. I hope I did it correctly. So they're 1 1/8 on that side, and like 1 2/8 over there. 1 1/4, whatever it is. All right, so you basically just center it. No, there's only one. I need to move that over. See, it looked centered, but it wasn't. That's why I'm glad I did the math. So 1 inch and 1/8, 1 inch and 1/8 on either side. Now it is centered. I feel better. Okay, now that that's centered, I could use it as a guide. Now, I'm going to go ahead and just, before I go any further, I like that just the way it is, and I'm going to do it. Okay, now, this is my applique pressing cloth. I'm going to gently lay it right over so you don't move anything. Take my iron, don't swish it around, set it down over it and just wait. Okay, now you could probably do all of it at once, but I am worried about stuff shifting. So why not do a little bit at a time? Woo, it's gonna look good. Okay, so overlap with a warm iron. Oh, warm iron while I'm doing hot. Okay, it says use it. I probably don't need the parchment paper on top of here, but I am anyway. If you ever get anything on the bottom of your iron, you learn your lesson the hard way. Okay, fused on. Nice. Okay, now we have, let's do the 2 circles. Do I need to measure or can I eyeball it? I'm going to eyeball it because I know that I measured this exactly. So I'm going to, and it goes below it a little bit. In fact, if you notice, the bottom of the black one is the same as the bottom edge of the bottom edge of the black circle is the same as the bottom edge of the camera. It lines up. So let's see if that works. Then I'll know if I have it too high or too low. Scoot it down a little bit. Okay. Compared to the picture, what am I missing? Oh, okay. So before I do my 2 3D things, I'm going to go ahead. That doesn't look exactly right. Okay, make sure you like it exactly where it is, because once you put it down, it's a little hard to move. Okay. Now, just for the heck of it, while I have my ruler out, so this looks like it's about 5/8, a little bit, and let's see what this is. 5/8. Good job. Okay, I eyeballed it very well. So I'm going to go ahead and gently, probably don't have to do this, but I'm protecting my iron. Go right over it and just let it sit. Don't swish it around because you might move something. Okay. Almost done. Now, very good. Getting there. All I need to do now is my flash and the heart. Okay, I know the felt can handle the iron. I center it. Does that look right? Did I cut that out right? I might want it. I'll fix this and make it a little bit. One of my corners looks a little sharp, so I'm going to round it. Just a little tiny bit. It's amazing what one tiny little snip can do. Okay. Because I kind of cut this out in a hurry. I'm going to go ahead and put the flash on. It's all centered. Does that look good? Is that the way it's supposed to compared to the picture? That's kind of cute. Okay, and I'm just going to carefully press it. Okay, now for the heart, I'm definitely going to use my fabric and I'm going to turn the iron down. Turning the iron down right now. I do not want to burn the plastic. Okay, so I turned the iron down. It's blinking, which means it's still hot. I thought I just did that. I guess I didn't do it long enough. Hold on. Jeepers. I did not do a very good job. I wonder if you're supposed to steam these. I don't know, I should have read the directions better. Just steam with the heat and bond. Okay, that looks good. Go straight down. Don't move. Maybe a little steam, let's see. Okay. Just have to wait. I get in a hurry. Okay, so I'll get my cloth ready so I do not forget. The last part is to put the heart on. Heart on. Okay, there we go. Now don't touch it. I'm actually going to get that on there a little bit better. A little shot of steam. I'm not sure if you're supposed to use it with heat and bottle, and I can't heat bond light. I can't remember. All right, we're almost done, people. If you're still hanging in there, thank you. Okay, this is still pretty hot. I do not, and this has the glue on the back. I'm going to center it. Okay, you know what? While this is cooling off, I'm going to, once again, some of these are still a tad sharp, and I want it to be perfect. Okay, here we go. I have a feeling it's not going to take very much. Make sure my heart looks good and it's centered. Okay, very nice. Put my cloth over it, people. I don't want to burn it. And is this cooled off yet? Oh God, I hope I don't ruin it. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm afraid of burning it. Did I do it? That was enough. Okay, there we go. Yay! There we go, 36 minutes, not bad. And the other ones I should be able to whip out just as quick. So if you're still here, thank you for watching. This is the end of part 1, and good luck, everybody. Have a nice day.